Heaven help the afterlife. Can a tour of Moe, Larry, Curly, and the other Stooges' final pratfall place show respect with head-bopping and pie-throwing? Jerome Howard, who many called the Super Stooge Curly, was laid to rest at Home of Peace Memorial Park, which is known as the oldest Jewish cemetery in Los Angeles. Curly left the comedy world on January 18, 1952, after a long series of strokes. He graced over 100 film appearances as arguably the zaniest of the three Stooges. In the 1947 short Hold That Lion, fans can spot him briefly in a train scene. This is the only instance in which 4 members of the Three Stooges appeared in the same film. Some of Curly's most popular Columbia Pictures short comedies with Moe and Larry include Men in Black, Hoi Polloi, A Plumbing We Will Go, and Microphonies. Shemp Howard is also in the Home of Peace Memorial Park in East Los Angeles, the same as his brother Curly. Shemp didn't live too much longer than Curly. On November 23, 1955, he experienced a fatal heart attack during a taxicab ride following a boxing match. Shemp's birth name was Samuel. His unique moniker came about from his mother's mispronunciation of the nickname Sam's due to her thick European accent. He was a capable and prolific actor, having appeared in over 100 short subjects and feature films, with and without the Three Stooges.
Well, things are looking up!
Such legends as Abbott and Costello, Marlene Dietrich, Rudy Vallee, and John Wayne were in movies with Shemp. The remains of Louis Feinberg, who became beloved as Larry Fine, are in a crypt at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. This is also the final resting place of Walt Disney, Nat King Cole, Lucille Ball, Maury Amsterdam, and about 250,000 others. The New York Times reported the death of Larry Fine on January 25, 1975. The great comedic entertainer had died the day before, the casualty of a series of strokes that had plagued him over his last several years. Larry Fine spent virtually all 50 years of his career in entertainment playing the role of one of the original Stooges.
Oh! It's a good thing you hit me with one of you, I'd resent that.
Scores of film shorts, half a dozen feature films, a cartoon series, and countless public appearances and cameos kept this Stooges schedule full. Even after being confined to a wheelchair, Fine still made time for his fans and even made visits to area schools where he would host and show students various Three Stooges films. Moe Howard rests in a cemetery about 20 miles from his brothers Curly and Shemp. He is in a crypt at Hillside Memorial Park in Culver City, California, part of Temple Israel of Hollywood. He was the longest living Stooge, finally losing his battle with lung cancer on May 4, 1975. Fans know Moe as the leader of the Stooge team. Some might be surprised to know that the man who was usually considered the most violent of the Three Stooges began his career as a dramatic actor. Moe had his start as an entertainer on a Mississippi River showboat. He was not well received and switched to comedy. In 1923, he teamed up for comedy performances with Ted Healy. Soon, he recruited Shemp and Larry Fine to join the act. After the vaudeville era faded out, Moe and company left the stage behind and eventually became legends of the short film world.
Too bossy, huh? Wise guy.
Like his brothers and their close friend Larry Fine, Moe would forever be universally known as a Stooge. He had few other roles in his expansive film and TV career in which he played anyone other than his iconic character. Joe Besser, also known as the Fifth Stooge, is also buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, not far from fellow Stooge Larry Fine. He passed away from heart failure in 1988. Besser was a familiar face to Three Stooges writer, producer, and director Jules White. Besser had already starred in several of White's film shorts. Before becoming an official Stooge, Besser gained hilarious notoriety on The Abbott and Costello Show, playing Costello's nemesis, Stinky. On the show, Stinky would punch, taunt, pinch, slap, and otherwise terrorize Lou, stealing every scene he was in. Besser appeared in just over a dozen Stooge shorts before Columbia Pictures eliminated their live-action film shorts division. With this move, a group employed since the 30s found itself unemployed in the 50s. Besser went on to play Jilson, the building superintendent in the sitcom The Joey Bishop Show, and became a successful voice actor, most memorably in Hanna-Barbera cartoons until his retirement in 1986.
Apprentice Genie Babu ready for action, Chief!
The final Stooge took his final bow on July 3, 1993. Curly Joe DeRita was buried at Valhalla Memorial Park in North Hollywood, California. A series of strokes had confined him to a nursing home, where he was taken by a lengthy bout with pneumonia. Curly Joe came along when television gave the trio a well-deserved resurgence in popularity, especially with kids. Curly Joe's first appearance was in Have Rocket, Will Travel, the first full-length Three Stooges motion picture. It ushered in an era of successful Stooge feature films, all including DeRita as Curly Joe. Snow White and the Three Stooges, The Three Stooges Meet Hercules, and The Three Stooges in Orbit were among the screen credits DeRita added to his growing film resume. Joe DeRita also entered the fold when the Three Stooges became cartoon characters. In the 1965 cartoon series, The New Three Stooges, DeRita joined Moe and Larry in providing the voices. Each of the cartoons featured live-action wraparound comedy segments that were filmed in color. DeRita spent almost as much time voicing Curly Joe as he did appearing in the role on camera. DeRita also did a little bit of on-screen solo work, including a 1966 Ozzie and Harriet episode. After playing Curly Joe a few more times, DeRita retired from acting in 1975.